Day 2.
I'm gonna run out of fingers here.
What time is it?
10:25.
10:25. Getting kind of a late start. Nice lazy morning. Had a great breakfast. It is windy and drizzly, but we're gonna make the most of it.
It's awesome.
Makes for more interesting scenery, I think. So, gonna hit the road. This is the view from our hotel room. Pretty amazing view. We stayed at the Katrina Lodge in Disentis. And from the street they had Zimmer-free signs and bike-friendly flags flying. They had a locked room for bike storage. The room was pretty basic, but the breakfast was amazing. They had fresh churned butter, fresh baked bread, eggs, croissants, everything you needed for a full day of biking. Is it wet back where you are too? For the first hour, we didn't realize we were biking on the highway. Something didn't feel right, so we pulled into the city and saw our first EuroVelo sign. And that kind of led us down a dirt path, which was kind of muddy. Jen didn't have fenders on her bike, so she had mud all up her back, all the way to the top of her helmet. But the views are absolutely breathtaking on this trail. This is probably one of our favorite sections of the trail. Just waterfalls everywhere, wildflowers growing everywhere. Just fields and fields of flowers. We were wearing just a light down jacket with a rainproof windbreaker on top. It was kind of the perfect lightweight layering option for clothing, and we really only used this the first couple of days of our trip. Windy, it's hard to hold it straight. Of all the days in our 18-day trip, this day was the toughest. We biked for pretty much a solid 7 hours. We started in Disentis and ended in Chur. It was about 42 miles with 1,600 feet of elevation climb. With all the climbing came amazing views. It's really cool to just look down and see how far we've climbed. The downhill was a nice gradual downhill for miles and miles, just a gradual slope. Didn't have to use the brakes too much. Unfortunately, the action camera I was using, I didn't realize it didn't do image stabilization while doing a time lapse, so a lot of the footage is a little nauseating to watch, but I'll throw a couple of videos in here that weren't too shaky. Hold your breath. We've done 50 kilometers so far, and hopefully it's all downhill. I really wish my action camera footage looked better, because there were just miles and miles of these switchbacks going downhill. You really get a sense of how far we've climbed above the level of the river. I'd say Switzerland's one of the best countries for biking just because there's so many stops for water. When we arrived in France, we were surprised to see that there were no water fountains at all, and we were kind of scrambling trying to find water. Around 6 o'clock we started looking for a hotel, and we found this one in a pyramid-shaped building on top of a McDonald's. And that wraps it up for day 2.